I get a lot of clients in this situation, and I remember myself being in this situation right before I separated, where I'm stuck in a mindset of my partner is the person that's all wrong and they need to fix up. I'm Rossanne Clay, and I'm from Intuitive Steps, and in this video today we're going to be talking about how we can move from the mindset of the blame game to the mindset of taking accountability for our lives. So when I talk about the blame game, what I mean is that mindset that you can get in where you feel like everything your partner is doing is wrong. And I'm not saying everything, but supposedly all the things that I really value and that I really care about, you are doing them all wrong. You know, you're not affectionate enough, you're not fun enough, you're not smart enough, you're not earning enough. All these things that are my expectations, my requirements to say, you can only be with me, you're only deserving and worthy of being with me if you meet all these expectations. And you're not meeting most of them. And so I get blinded by all these things that are not working and all these things that I see are bad in that person and all these things that are wrong with that person. And I don't see the good stuff anymore. I don't see all the things, all the reasons why I fell in love with them. I don't see all the reasons why I wanted to be with them. I don't see all the good times that we have, and I don't cherish and nurture and foster those times. And I start spiraling. And often in the blame game, what is most imperative to fixing it is a change in your mindset. And your mindset needs to switch to one of where you take accountability and you know, where it's, okay, maybe I'm not creating environments where we can be fun together. Okay, maybe I'm not creating an environment where you want to be affectionate to me. Maybe I could be supportive in helping you build your career, and maybe that will help you to earn more money, or perhaps I need to spend less, or you know, there's myriad sort of solutions when you want to see the solutions. And when you want to focus on the good stuff, then all sorts of possibility comes up as to how you can fix these things. But if you keep focusing on the negative, and if you keep focusing on that blame game, all you're doing is creating a negative spiral for yourself, where you're going to get yourself stuck into a pit where you don't believe that that person could be any better. So if you are in that mindset and you're currently in a state where you're uncertain whether you want to stay with that person or not, I'd recommend the first thing that you do is get yourself out of the blame game and get yourself taking accountability for what's going on before you make hasty decisions as to whether or not you want to stay with that person. Because often the problems that you see in that person, you're just going to transfer them on to your next relationship. So this technique that I'm about to share with you will actually help you to shift your mindset. Okay, it's a mind-body tool. You're going to tap along, just copy what I do and repeat after me, and you're going to notice the difference between your blame mindset and how, when it starts to come down, when the blame factor starts to recede, then a sense of accountability and a sense of responsibility for your own self and your own well-being tends to increase. Okay, so let's get tapping. Just copying me. So starting on the karate chop point. He sucks. So I'm going to say he, but you say she or he depending on your relationship. Okay, he absolutely sucks. And I choose to accept myself anyway. He really does suck. He's a total loser. And I choose to love myself anyway. So remember, you're just repeating after me and just following as I do, tapping along as I do. Even though I think it's all his fault, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. It's so totally his fault. He's just not good enough. He doesn't know how to do it right. There are so many things that he's doing wrong. And I blame him for so much. I wish he was different. I wish he was so different. Sometimes I compare him to other people that I know. And I wish he was like that. More fun, more affectionate, I wish he did better in life. Sometimes I wish he had more drive. Sometimes I wish he had more affection. Sometimes I wish he was more loving. Sometimes I wish he was more romantic. I have all sorts of excuses. And I'm remembering all these excuses right now. I'm remembering all the reasons that I think he sucks. I'm remembering all the reasons why I don't like him. And I'm so focused on that. I spend a lot of energy focusing on the negative. I spend a lot of energy focusing on what's wrong with him. I spend a lot of my time really focusing on what's wrong with him and how he could fix up. So many ways that he could fix up. Why doesn't he just fix up? I've given him the list. There's nothing I can do about it. He's the one that needs to change. I can't change. I'm perfect the way I am. I'm already so brilliant. And yes, I know there are some things wrong with me. There are some contributing factors that I bring to this relationship that make it worse rather than better. But I refuse to see that right now. It's his fault. This is all his fault. I refuse to see anything good in him. I refuse to see the good in him. I refuse to see the good in him. Because if maybe I saw the good in him, I might actually start to like him. And I'm not sure that I'm ready for that. I'm just so sick of this. I'm so sick of this relationship. I'm so sick of being with him. I'm so sick of the mundane. I'm so sick of the routine. I'm so sick of the drudgery. Day after day after day. I'm sick of it. It bores me. It's eating away at my insides. It's causing me so much pain. I really don't want to be in this life anymore. It sucks. There's so much more excitement out there. And I'm too young to be stuck in this life, doing the same old crap, over and over and over again. I want to be living my life. I want to be doing something so much more exciting than this. Every day, the same old thing. I'm so over it. I am so over it. And I'm surrendering all of this to the highest energy for my greater good and the greater good of all those around me. Okay, so just shake that out. So what we did there is we tapped on the negative stuff, and that's what you need to do when you are feeling like down in the pits, where you're just like, ugh, I'm so over it. I'm so over this relationship. That's when you really need to get tapping and just release using that tapping method that I just showed you. And you can even repeat that tapping bit over and over again. Now the next phase that we're going to do, I want you to do when you're actually feeling better, when you're actually feeling like you've let go of some of that drudgery and you're feeling a little bit perkier about life and about how you can take accountability. Okay? So you ready for the next phase? All right, tapping on the karate chop point. Yeah, my life sucks at the moment. I know it sucks. But I can't say that I've done much to improve it. I haven't really tried. I haven't put much focus towards improving it. I've been too focused on the negative. I've been too focused on what's wrong. I haven't had time to look at the positives. I haven't had time to think about what might fix this. And I really am resisting taking accountability for this. No way. There's no way that my ego can handle taking accountability for the situation. But maybe I'm going to make myself just a little bit open to taking accountability. Maybe I'm going to create the possibility of taking accountability for what I've created in my life. Perhaps I'll open myself up more and more every day to taking accountability for this situation. And maybe I might even choose to see the good in him. In fact, I am open to seeing the good in him. In fact, I'm open to seeing the good in me. I'm open to seeing more and more of the good in me so that I can see that reflected back in him. Because maybe it's my mindset that's caused me to be stuck. Maybe it's my expectations that's caused me to be very controlling. And perhaps these expectations are limiting our affinity and are limiting our desire to be together. Maybe all my expectations are causing this pain. And maybe, just maybe, I'm open to letting go of these expectations. I'm open to seeing these expectations clearly because I know that through the awareness of my expectations, I can break the cycle. I can cut these expectations as soon as I see them. Okay, I just had to go tend to a crying baby, so I'm back. Let's finish the tapping on opening ourselves up to seeing the good. I'm open to seeing the good in him or her. I'm opening to seeing the good in me. I'm open to seeing the good in others. I'm open to taking accountability for my part to play in this conundrum, in this relationship. I'm open to being kind to myself. I'm open to being more gentle with myself. I'm open to being less judgmental of myself. I'm open to releasing my expectations of myself and of him. I'm open to breaking this cycle of pain that I've caught myself in. I'm open to being joyful once more and seeing the lighter side of life, seeing the lighter side of this relationship. And from there, with a clear head, making choices. All right, take a deep breath. Let it out. It is a rough time that you're going through. It's not easy, but you can be kinder to yourself and you can make it easier for yourself. If you have any queries or any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. My link is in the bio. All right, thanks. All the best.